Hi guys! I decided I was going to record a few editing things for you, and people ask for these all the time. This is my first time, so hopefully I don't make a total fool out of myself, right? So I've been editing this little girl. She came in yesterday for her session, and guys, she left from my studio right to go to the hospital because she is extremely orange. So she was very jaundice. And so these edits have been a little bit more invasive than I usually do, but I'm going to show you, here, I'll just show you how orange, there you go, how orange she was. It looks like when I do record, my computer takes a little bit more time, it lags just a little bit. So hopefully that won't be an issue. But yeah, look at how orange she is, guys. And back. So this is my settings. I will say that I do most of my settings in Lightroom first. I try and do as much in Lightroom. Newborns is probably the most of my images that I pull into Photoshop. I am primarily a Lightroom person. At least I try to be. It's a lot quicker and a lot easier. So yeah, so I try and do as much as I possibly can in Lightroom first, and then pull into Photoshop, and mainly for Photoshop to clean up faces and clean and extend backgrounds and all that kind of stuff. So, but most of like the skin and color stuff I do all in Lightroom. So, and as you can see over here, I've already done that kind of stuff because I'm halfway through the session and I just thought about recording it right now. But yeah, I can kind of go back. Like I said, this one's kind of extensive. I can kind of go back and show you how I got to this point. Let's try and do that. So let's see if I can get halfway there. So I am going to reset her. And there's our orange baby. So this is straight out of camera right here. Like I said, everything is pretty good as in my exposure here. I did overexpose, or at least try and make sure I nailed exposure on every one of these shots because of how jaundiced she was. Generally, I have learned that for jaundice babies to overexpose a little bit, it's much easier to edit their skin than to underexpose, and because then it's just harder to pull those oranges out. So yeah, so there's that. So yeah, so I'm probably gonna just pull it up one stop probably. I always bring my highlights down a little bit. I always get like a little bit of a highlight on their nose and that kind of thing. So I always pull those down. I always pull down my whites. And this is just my editing style. Of course, guys, remember that there's like tens to thousands of ways to edit newborn pictures and any picture in that matter. But this is just how I do it. It's probably not perfect. It's probably not even the right way. But this is how I do it. So for her, I am going to cool this down just a smidgen. Probably going to help me get those oranges out also, and that kind of thing. But I just kind of go through here. I play, like I said, I always bump my shadows up a little bit, pull down my highlights, pull down my whites. I will pull the blacks back in just a smidge since I did the shadows, just for that. I like that contrast. For newborn babies, I always pull down the clarity. Probably like to -7, no more. You don't want to pull it down anymore. And I bump the vibrance by just a smidgen or so. You probably can't even see that, but I do it. I learned it way early. I just like the look of it. I do have a setting or a preset, I'm sorry, for my reds, and that you're going to see that this does a ton. And this is pretty much, even though I know you guys see a ton over here, I literally barely use any of these except for reds a little, reds a lot, and dramatic. That's my black and white that I like. I believe These two are, oh gosh, let's see here. I cannot remember who they are from. Give me a second here and I can tell you, I think. Do not look at the mess in my computer, please. This is crazy. Actions. Okay. So Pretty Presets is, nope. I lied. Let me see here. It might be, okay, so my black and white is from Great Gatsby. And I believe, honestly, Greater Than Gatsby, and I believe, I can't remember, guys. It might be, I clicked the wrong thing. Anyways, they might actually be all Greater Than Gatsby, but I could have swore that the reds were from something else. I'll have to look that up and I'll put it in the notes. Sorry. So anyways, so yeah, so you're gonna see when I hit, I will do a lot because this baby has a ton of reds, but look at that. I love that action. I found it a long time ago and I'm just stuck with it. Literally, like I said, I probably use that action for all of my newborns. So yes, so but for her, as you can see, she is still a little orange. So I am going, oh, wrong one. So I'm going to pull down my oranges a little bit more, pull down my reds just a smidgen more. I'm also going to probably pull down my yellows just a little bit. Yeah. Oops. Down my yellows a little bit. And then I am going to bump my orange luminous a little and my yellow luminous. Yeah. See, now our skin's getting that creamy look right there. So yeah, I love that. Maybe just a little less. Perfect. I love that. I always just bump my sharpening up. Give it a little bit. Other than that, I use the 50. So I really, I mean, there wasn't much. You can see there wasn't much, but you can always correct for your profile. If you use your 35 for newborn shots, you definitely want to use that because you will get distortion with that. So that looks pretty good. So yeah, I would do that. And then all of these shots that were shot on my pink right here, I would literally come over here and like here, even though this is already edited, I'm going to unedit that one. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to hold on. Like I said, guys, my computer goes a little bit slower when I'm recording. So give me a second. Kind of bogs down a little bit. I'm going to reset her. Look at how orange that baby is. So literally what I would do once I got my settings correct and what I want, I would go over here, click shift and the other picture and sync. This is literally the best thing probably about Lightroom. Oh gosh, yeah guys. I should probably shut down some other programs. So it's going really, really slow. Normally I would shut off your spot removal and crop just in case you did fix something on another one. And all that kind of stuff, and sync. And look at, I mean, it helps so much, so much. And then you don't have to go back and do all of those edits all over again. Sometimes you do have to go through and kind of adjust. Maybe you're, you know, you're a little bit off on your exposure on that one. That one I want to bump just a smidgen. But that way you get a consistent look over all of your pictures. And not, you know, one picture is a little bit warmer than the other and the other one's a little bit cooler than the other and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I would do with that. And from there, I would take it into Photoshop to clean up her face, run my portraiture on it, and extend this backdrop. So there is that. I've already done those pictures actually. So right now I was working on this set. Like I said, I'd already started editing this session before you guys got here. So I was working on here. Again, I just literally synced that one picture and carried it through all of my pink backdrops. So because I use Studio Light, pretty much all of my stuff is consistent. I don't really change my exposure or anything. Once I find my settings in Studio Light, I don't have to change much, which is one thing I love about Studio Light. It's very consistent. I do use the Alien Bee And of course, a lot of people say that the alien bee is a little bit redder than most. I don't know. I've never had an Einstein, so I can't tell you. So there's that. So yeah, so I think I'm working on, I think one or two of these images. I think one of these, I can't remember, over here in Photoshop. So I'm going to pull that up. I just sent those into Photoshop. So here we go. Here's one image that I already edited. And we can start here. So this was that macro shot. I love these macro shots. This little one didn't have much of eyelashes. She was only 4 days old, so she didn't have much time to do much other than get a lot of baby acne, which was really crazy for a 4-day-old. And jaundice, obviously. So, yeah, so what I would do is I would just go in here and start fixing. I use my spot brush. Hopefully it doesn't take 10,000 years to do this when I'm recording. Yeah, it's working pretty good. And go through. Ooh, that was probably a mole. Yeah, that's a mole. I'm like, that was probably a mole. I don't get rid of any moles. I don't get rid of anything that's going to be there in a week. That looks like a mole. I will leave it. Anyways, I'm over here. I'm just using my spot healing brush. Again, there's 50 million ways you can do this. Some people use their patch tool. I don't see the reason of having to go through here and, let's see, like make little circles around here. That just takes too long. So I just use a spot healing brush and it works pretty well. There might be some things that I might have to use patch tool for, but not in here. She had milk on her lips. Guys, I mean, if you can fix it before you shoot it, try. It's really annoying when you get in here and you're like, ugh, I could have cleaned off that milk and been cleaning it off every single time. So that's pretty good. Like I said, I am not a huge skin editor. There will be some babies that I have to do a little bit more, but considering this baby was super orange before and super red, there is a little bit of red in her eyes. I'm going to leave it. She was 4 days old. Her mom and grandma loved her newness being captured, so I'm just going to leave it. And that looks pretty good to me. I am going to go over here and do my portraiture. My settings for this is pretty much default at this point. I do go over here and brighten just because I like my skin to pop a little bit more. Normally it's set on 1 or 2. I'm going to leave it on 1 today. It seems to be working pretty well. Other than that, this is all default. I don't even mess with this. Like I said, I don't mess with anything in this. I just let it do its magic. I love it. It's easy. And this way I don't have to do everything to her skin. Portraiture kind of takes care of it. Now you'll see it does it makes them look plastic. By no means do we want that. I will always go in here and bring down the opacity. I will also erase it. Oops, wrong way. From their eyes. I'll erase as much. Now this is a macro shot to try and get her little details, so of course I'm going to erase it from there. I don't want it to go too much. Other than that, I flatten, and then I hit Control S, and that is going to send it back into Lightroom. So you see right here that it's sending it back into Lightroom. There you go, and you can have your after, your before with Lightroom adjustments, I should say. See that little spot pop back in. Her skin is rough again, and after. Give it a minute, guys. There you go. And after. There you go. I'm going to do one more since that was a macro shot. I'm going to probably pick one where I have to extend the backdrop for you guys. Yeah. So then, oh yeah, so then I will just go in and get rid of the Lightroom adjustment one. There's no reason for it in here anymore. You'll see that there's other ones in here that I've already edited. I will just get rid of them. So I'm going to go in here and do this one, actually, which I've already brought it to Photoshop. So here you go. Like I said, the baby was very jaundiced at the beginning of the session. I told myself that I was going to keep this baby wrapped as much as possible. And then mom and grandma kept on going, oh, we love the naked baby ones. So I eventually unwrapped her. I didn't really want to. Anyways, I am just going to use liquefy a little bit to extend this backdrop. I will do that first, and then I will go in and paint over that. I will also go in here and just make her a little bit more round. These are just simple things that I kind of do. A good rule of thumb, I'm not loving that crazy wrap job down there. The one layer did not go all the way around her, and I was not happy about it. But we had to do a quick and easy job because she had to get to the hospital. Anyways, okay. So that's probably all I would do there at that point. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Go back into liquefy. And there's your that. I'm going to go over here and finish up my backdrop. Change that to 70-ish. There we go. It's probably as much as I would do to the backdrop. I'm not a big fade person on top of it. I really try and do as less editing as I can possibly get away with, to tell you the honest truth. Editing is not where you make your money. Behind this computer is not where I make my money in portrait sessions. So I try and take care as much as possible. I keep on wanting to get rid of that mole, but I hope it's a mole. If not, I will get rid of it later. That will be an easy one to click. But yeah, so I don't make my money back here, guys. I make my money shooting. And I mean, I make my money maybe behind the computer in social media, but that's about it. And editing, honestly, is not my favorite part of the job. I know that it is for a lot of other people, but I am not a big editor. So I don't try and stick back here. Other than that, she looks pretty good there. And I will go in here. Oh, another thing, guys, is I've set my portraiture to output to a new layer. So that I can tone it down, obviously, because like I said, it makes them look pretty plasticky, as you can see here in a second. So I definitely put that on a new layer. That's why I don't make a new layer before I go in there. I mean, you can make a new layer and just do it on the new layer, but I just make it output to a new layer, and that pretty much solves my issues. Take it off the eyes, lips, some of the fingers. She had the perfect fingernails, guys, didn't she? I loved it. And other than that, sorry for the beeps, I forgot to turn off my Facebook. Flatten, Control S, and it will send it back to Lightroom. And I'll do the before. That's the before. Again, other people might do a little bit more to this. I mean, that's pretty perfect. My parents love their little, you know, what they have. Some people might tone down a little bit more on the red. I'm not going to worry about it because of how, I mean, I might on a regular baby, but with how jaundiced she was, I am just not going to do that. So I'm going to sit here and show you the before. Give me a second, let my computer work. Here is the before and the after. I would say that's a pretty good transformation, and that's about how she'll look. She was Puerto Rican a little bit, so she might turn out a little bit darker. But of course, I don't know her real skin tone because of this jaundice. So yeah. So thanks, guys. You guys have a wonderful day. And always, if you want to ask any questions, it's at info@casephotography.com, or you can ask some great questions over here at our Focal Point Business Support Group. You guys can always, oops, I forgot to turn everything off here. Pop back up. There we go. This is our business support group. We love to hear people over here. We will answer as many questions as we can. And I will probably post a link to this over here. Thank you, guys. You have a wonderful day.